Good morning from sunny Berkey, Ohio. Cloud layer off in the distance, but the sun's up and it's going to be a beautiful day. Much colder than the last couple, but nice. Phil is already off hauling corn this morning. We've got a couple of trucks to get emptied. We're going to check our generator over here and get it fired up. Phil did dry a little bit of corn last night. And so I think there's a batch on the top of this bin that we can drop and then refill. Lots of oil. Looks good. And then we're going to start the little dryer, the other one, up and let that one run. So we'll get stuff going here. Well, our burner's on. I can see fire through the little window up there. Well, that's good. So there's temperature sensors inside the bin, inside the grain that sense the temperature of the grain, and we've got that set to 102 degrees. So it's at 66 right now. When it gets to 102, it will shut it down, or there are some timers in here, and we've got the dry set for like an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes, something like that. Whichever happens first. If it gets to an hour and a half and that's not up to temperature, it'll shut down. If it gets up to 102 and that's not out of time, it will shut down. What we find with these top dry bins is that grain temperature is what matters. It doesn't matter if you put 18% corn in there, or in this case 16.5% corn, or 25% corn. When it gets to, in that dryer, 102 degrees, it's dry. That's where you want it. It takes a lot longer for wetter grain to get up to temperature, so it's going to dry a lot longer, where this stuff that's already basically dry is going to come up to temp pretty quickly. So anyway, we're going to let that go. I got to drop this other stuff, get this bin emptying, or the dryer emptying, and then we will, oh no, he already did. So we can crank this up. That closes the cans on the bottom of the drying floor, and we can run another batch up there. Mom sent some molasses cookies. Thanks, Mom. Just came up to look at the burner. Everything seems to be okay. That's our plenum temperature. Not quite up to 160 degrees. That's where I sort of like it to run, but see the fire in there. There's warm air coming out the vents. It's just going to take a little while for everything to get going. So it is a dual stage burner, a high and a low fire. Right now we're burning on high fire. We can adjust some pressures and stuff if we need to, but I think we're just going to let her go. All right, ready to fire the burner on dryer number 2. This one sits on the ground with a duct that goes up to the top of the bin. Let's see how much it makes our generator snort when we push this button. She felt it. Okay, fans on. Wait for the burner to fire. Right there she goes. All right, well, both dryers are running, both trucks are empty, overhead's full, so Phil can keep hauling out when he gets back. Rock and I are gonna go shell corn. Dad is on his way down. He's bringing the 8430 with the disc. The disc because, well, we're gonna disc most of these stalks, but we also are gonna use it to level up the ruts in the end of the field so that it's not so rough while we're shelling corn. And then he wants to drop the disc and hook that tractor up to his scraper. Why do I hear an air leak? Is that an airline or a tire? Uh-oh. Airline, not a tire. Which, while that's not good, it'll make it the half a mile down the road to the field and back. All right. Well, I get to combine at least for a little while. We'll see how the day goes. I don't know. Obviously, it's going to take Dad longer to get here than to Brock and I, but he shouldn't be too much longer. We'll fill these things up and go empty them if Dad's not here yet. Otherwise, I'm sure Dad will take over the combine and I'll run trucks. All right, well, we've been running for a while here. We've got the long rows not done, but we got up to this side of them, and we're gonna work off these short rows here. I got the end rows done there. Interesting yield map showing up in this field. This field looks like that every single year. There is a soil type difference that runs right across here. In fact, you can see it in the background map. It runs all the way across here into this field in the corner, and then it kind of fizzles out right over here as we're gonna go kind of past it. And it's fascinating to me every time, but it is always there in every yield map. So this corn in general is not as good as the field directly across the ditch was, like behind the farm over there, which is, I'm trying to figure out why. It's not bad. I mean, we're averaging 203 about right now, which is about where I was hoping and expected to be. So that's good. But that other field surprised me and was 20 bushel better than this. So why? And you'll notice that, you know, the good areas, which this is an area where we tiled last year as well. So I'm starting to wonder if the tile has something to do with it. Definitely this soil type has a big chunk of it. So be interesting as we continue to fill this one in. Also, we are right on the edge of a variety split right here. There was actually a variety split out over there as well. We have 3 different varieties in this field. This one, the purple here next to us, not that, let's do this, is just a small strip. I was gonna put my plot there and I planted around it and left that, and then I only left 3 planter passes and I needed 4, and I was like, oh crap. So we ended up moving the plot, and then I filled this in with the variety that I had in the planter at that point, which was different than this. This is my 11V76, the same stuff that was in that other field. That is 10B61. It's been pretty good this year. I'm curious to see how it compares. And then on the other side of the field, we have some 10L16, which is a different one altogether. And yeah, anyway, that's where we're at with this. Dad made it down with the disc and got our ends leveled up a little bit for us, so they're not quite so rough. So that's kind of nice. We do have both trucks full. I was gonna fill the grain cart, but since he's here, he took the truck back and is trying to get it unloaded. We might as well just take this other truck back, and then when they get one empty, Brock and Dad can go back and keep shelling, and we can knock out a bunch of acres today. Yeah, that should work. Well, looks like I'm gonna play truck driver again most of the day. We refilled, so both dryers finished while we were over there shelling, so we refilled that one and started it again. I am refilling the big one now. I don't know if I'm gonna actually start it though. This corn is still dry. It's still 16.5 coming out of the field. We don't really need to dry that. Phil just likes to have really dry corn on the bottom of bins that are where the corn's gonna be there until the summer, you know, potentially until August. And so we're drying the first couple of batches. We're dropping through both of these dryers. The big one has already got 3 batches down. We didn't dry the first one, but we dried 2 batches now. So there's 4,500 bushels into the 20,000 bushel bin there. That's almost a quarter of the bin. I don't know. We might dry one more or something, and we'll see. But I want to refill it because all that heat that's in that corn from the last batch is going to get blown up through the stuff that I put up there, and it'll kind of help half dry it without actually having to dry it, if that makes sense. Got a few minutes, so I decided we better get some fuel in our generator. Got another truck empty here. So the plan is we're going to dry 3 batches through each one of those top dries, just to have that dry corn in the bottom of the bin. So the big one is working on batch number 3 right now. The other one is on number 2. We'll have to do one more through that. No big deal. Anyway, it is 12:30. We're gonna go grab some lunch. I talked to Dad. He said, yeah, why don't you bring the pickup? We'll go do that. I know, we're not real farmers because we don't pack our lunch and bring it with us. It's okay. And there is every fast food restaurant you could want within 5 miles of here. So we're just gonna go do that. Got the short rows over here done. Get this side of the field done. So opening up some ends behind the house over here. Made it back to the field here, and he doesn't quite have this truck full yet. And we've got a few more end rows done. So I'm gonna jump in the disc here and try and knock them down, level it up. I'd like to park the truck behind the barn over there, but it's really rough, so I'll smooth it out. It's dusty, imagine that. As dry as we are. Not able to move a ton of dirt with it right now just because the ground is so dry and hard. So we're not going to do a lot of this, I don't think, until it rains. We're just trying to level up stuff to make it nicer for while we're still combining right now. Okay, that's all. And there he is, filling our truck. What is making a noise? You got a rock in a basket? Sure do. How'd that get in there? Better question, how does it get out of there? I don't know that it does. Find just the right spot. Oh well. Alright, let's go. Barring any super wet corn coming out of the field, we're running the last dryer batch there. I am reloading this dryer, but we've already dried 3. The problem with having those top dry floors up there is when you don't want to use it, you just want to pass through it, you kind of have to lift the pans up, fill it, and then drop it. Otherwise it'll feel super uneven. So we're just kind of reloading it, but the plan is to just drop it right down on top of the corn below. It's still 16.5, so we're good. Head back for another round. Where'd that one come from? That's not the same. A white cob. There is one white cob hybrid in the plot. Must have been from there. All right, well, I've got to get out of here. It's about 4:45 or even a little after. I'm kind of a little behind. Got stuff going on tonight. I'll talk about it in a minute. But anyway, we're going to let them keep going. Phil was hauling one last load in. He should be back soon, and then was going to go straight to the field. So I think he'll take over my job. Brock's got to go in like 45 minutes or so. So I don't know how long he's going to be around either. All right, I mean, 45 minutes, right? We'll see how much Dad and Phil get done after that. Hopefully they'll finish the field we're in now for sure. I don't know if they'll get much more than that done or not. But it's fine. We're doing really good. We should be able to finish on Sunday. Not going to happen tomorrow, but we'll see. So anyway, that's where we're at. So if you don't see me tomorrow, it's because I died tonight trying to beat a bunch of second graders at flag football. Yeah, that's what we're doing tonight. We gotta head back early because it is the boys' end of the year for flag football little party tonight, and they decided we were going to have a parents versus kids flag football game. And well, I'm going to destroy them. So that's what's gonna happen. And then we're all going for pizza afterwards. So anyway, good enough reason for me to head back early and go hang out with them and do that stuff. So we will be around tomorrow. Keep shelling, get as much done as we can. I might try and do a plot tomorrow. I don't know. I feel bad doing it on a weekend and trying to ask my sales rep or agronomist to come on a weekend, especially tomorrow during a very important football game that's at noon. And by very important, I mean it's a big game. It's a football game. Who cares, right? But yeah, we're both fairly big Ohio State fans, and I'm not going to ask him to do a plot during the middle of the Penn State game. We might try and do it afterwards. I really don't need his help. I can do it without him. I know he would want to be there, though, so we'll see how it goes. And depending on how tomorrow goes, we should be able to finish on Sunday. We're down to, after they finish the field they're in now, because I don't know how many acres they got left, we're down to about 110, 115. So they should get some of that done today. We should be close to 100 acres to go as of tomorrow morning. That's good. We're real close. But anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your night. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, actually, as one of my favorite YouTubers said the other day, if you like the video, gives it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you didn't. Something along those lines. Anyway, yeah, do that. Subscribe, like the video, all those things. We'll see you guys in the morning.